Okay, I wasn't planning on doing another one, but I can't, in good conscience, do 1 VP and not do 3 VP. Light infantry that it is, and since that's been 95% of my career, just got to do it. The blower had to go back. Something's keeping breaking shear pins until he ran out of shear pins. Got to pause while I let another loader get by me. Alright, he's backing up. I can go. And use my pass key to get a quick bathroom break done at GPV, my summer employment. And hold on while I get this turn. I gotta lift the bucket at the same time that I avoid 2 other loaders. Come at it from a different angle. This side's not too bad. I've already got heads up. They got a lot of drip pans left in the ground. And right now, there's probably more than a few in that pile. I know where Rennie is. They know where Mark is. Better at anticipating what direction he's going now. He's actually learning how to read me better. Alright, let's do some long shots. Check behind me. And more 4-foot high drifts. Windrows. Giddy up! Their compounds and solid ice. It's what? Going on near 2000, 8 o'clock for the civvies. And we go until crap. Mark, you and your damn piles. Stop putting it in my way. No. He thinks he's helping. He's just making a big mess of things. No. I know what his intent is, but he's getting 2 loaders going too close to each other. Now I've got to reposition to deal with his mess. Oh well, entertainment. One of the things I try to avoid is getting stressed over things. Frustration, anger. 2 examples, stress. There's better ways to do the piles he's doing right now. Hopefully by end of the season he'll figure it out. I think he was starting to get nervous of working so close with everybody plugged into a dump. Jesus Christ. good thing you're not looking at me. Oh well. I choose to see the humor in it. Humor. On a brighter note, though, my numb jaw nerve is starting to get a little bit more sensation. It's less on my chin and more on my bottom lip now. Affects my speech, I've already mentioned. That, where was I? I don't expect to be ever fully healed. I'm not really focusing on trying it. If I did, my first avenue approach would be trying modern acupuncture with electrical currents, trying to stimulate it. But one problem at a time. Yay. And Rennie got out of Dodge. Good. That gives more room here. Oh look, drip pads and fence post logs. And that pile has a couple of fence post logs in it. Wasn't me. Sometimes I do miss working S118 or L101, or if you've been around long enough, the old Z lines. Sometimes. That part of my life, though, better in the rear view mirror and carried forth with memories. I don't really long for it. Enjoyed every minute of it. Got me where I'm at in life. Armed me with some skills that I still carry with me today. Go from there. Let's see if I can get the piles out of the way. Oh, a few more drip pans. He is getting a bit faster in clearing though. Gain more though if backwards better, but that's understandable. I mean, most of your SNCC drivers, except for the young troops, are well into their 40s. For the younger ones, the oldest is Mike. Another one, drawing a blank in his last name right now, but I've seen him throughout my career driving me around different points from Catawawa, Wainwright, and now I work with him. He's about 63, I think. Then there's me and Gary, I do believe, and Steve. Both of them in their 50s. Ex-military. Dave White, 2 years, I think, younger than I am. Mine is 58. My brother turns 50. A couple more days. sister-in-law turns 48. Growing old doesn't have to suck. Yeah, I've covered enough of that nonsense. But I do enjoy being able to do what I do now. Feeling how I feel now versus when I started. And that's why I can sympathize with how other people move. That was there. I had a lot more abilities to pick up cheats. But the cheats weren't really doing me any good to get the job done because I wasn't really sorting my problems out. I may as well talk on that because Dave's phone has been talking about trying different things to sort out his issues, and he's looking at getting knee surgery. Just to remind people, part of my plan in doing this is going back to basics. I jokingly said I want a factory reset of my body, and well, yeah, that involved a bit of fasting. Nothing crazy though, and I've done fasting a few times throughout my life for up to 10 days, I think it was a long one. That was when I was late 20s, early 30s. Body does some neat things when you fast. It starts scavenging your own body for fuel, calories. Yeah, you'll burn fat, but it's not just fat that you're burning. After about day 3, your digestive system shuts down, requires less energy and blood. You actually stop feeling hungry for a bit. Therein lies some danger. But anyways, that was the start of it, and I had an assist because at the time with my headspace, my gastro issues, I was eating to survive, and I'm the main cook for the family. But after we moved to our new house, I had your typical honey-do list of stuff to do, and through a lot of pain, managed to do it. Got some early videos of it. Poor headspace that I had. Somebody I know calls it brain mush or mush brain. I tend to use the term brain fog. And it took me a little while to sort out that a lot of that was tied to all those stress taps, your adrenal glands, the core part of your brain stem. Methylquin also causes issues with. It was putting a steady dump into my body. We got to the point that I was getting tension headaches, and I'm not the type of person to normally get headaches. And it was bad enough that it felt like I was wearing a doubled up swim cap, 2 of them, that were too small for my head. My eyeballs hurt to turn them. Noise sensitivity reared her ugly head. And one hygiene appointment with the dentist, it just hit me, and I went full on, as close as I've been in the shock since, well, most of my major injuries that I've had throughout my life and career. Not much I could do about it at the time other than hold on and ride it out. And that took more than a few years to get sorted out. But I managed to start walking. We got a new dog that I didn't really want at the time because, well, dogs bark. It was a medium to large size dog that I took a guess would probably be the one to look out for it. And yeah, that was the case, and I had more than a few issues with it. Dealt with them as they came up as best I could. Walking kept going. With walking, I started flooding my brain with different biochemicals. More light bulbs went off. In order to walk again the next day, I needed to stretch. Soldier, used to that. At least enough for the basics. And stay at each level for about a week to understand where I was at, pick minor corrections, additions, picked up in time versus space. Funny thing happens when you're flooding your brain with good for you chemicals. The stress taps start slowing down and shutting off. When you're no longer in the fight or flight mode, the closed down part of your mind that allows higher levels of, not consciousness, awareness started to come back. Aware of neuroplasticity, which is a neat way of saying you use a part of the brain often enough, the brain starts making shortcuts, make it faster, more efficient, and it allows context to your day-to-day things. Meanwhile, I was still losing weight. As I've covered off and enough in headspace, I maxed out at about 250 and change. About the same time we went to Hawaii.
Gary, did you figure out what was going on with your shirt pins?
By the time I
When they
was able to start walking,
Can put your shirt pins all the time. It's 6 now.
by the time I started walking, I was down to 220, which is the historical average for most of my 30s, 40s. Then I started becoming aware better how much weight it was really carrying. So I picked goal once I understood it enough, and it kind of matched into my life. I think I'm going to aim for 167. So I kept up a significant calorie deficit while walking and doing everything that I do during the day, which at the time was only able to do effectively for about 3 hours per day unless I was working. And reached 167. Then it was time to start sorting out all the different pain points. I've had improvements on the knee that would come back, switch areas that bothered me as I unlocked different muscle groups, stretched them, lengthened them, rebuilt them. Still had minor issues. So it became less of a focus about my knee, being able to do basic stuff like getting up and down off the floor. At the same time, I was also doing head to toe body movements.
Once I get a bit of a trench made here with both sides, then I can push a lot out to you.
Meanwhile, my headspace is improving and I'm understanding more.
About 3 feet deep all the way through there.
Used to getting a lot more tiffs online during that period, but that was also, I come at things with a centrist mindset. I was never a hard right nor a left-leaning type person. You can see points for both of them. You can also see how easy they were falling for the rage bait. So, because that was still adding to my stress, I just stopped engaging with it. More improvements. Watched other people I know, respect, serve with, start picking up the same thing. How much of it was by my example or not, well, that's up for them to say. I'm doing this for me, not to tell it nor sell it. I just want to age better. Factory reset. Alright. Running out of room to add to this pile from that side. Let's do a quick check. Most of it looks done. Leave Mark to do his thing. Might drift around and I'll shift it to the front. Once we get there and I'll show you the backside, and then this video should have been going off. This is one of my longer conversations. Don't ask me what started it. Just felt like talking. It took on a life of its own. Alright, now here's the messy part. Windrowed up by the grader. There's dumps in the back corner that will blow into a dump later. I won't be able to take all this. I'm going to clear closer to where the snow dump is. A couple of spots along here in between the sea can get built up. There we go. I can start here. Well, they got their skidoos where we used to put a snow dump. That's going to be interesting. Because their total yardage and ability to place snow is only so many spots. And you might have heard on the radio, Gary's still got an issue with the blower. But we should be able to fill this snow dump up to kitty corner of the fence. You got to keep it off the fence. You've already damaged the one at 1 VP. Better warn them about that. Yeah, you're starting to get too close to the fence. Avoid pushing it really until we get a higher dump. Whoa! Where'd that come from? Caught it though. Clear out this pile. Low bed trailer. Not for a semi. More for a style that a pickup truck can carry. I think they're going to use that for like the razors or whatever they're called. And of course, it's not lined up evenly with the other ones. Sticks out just a little bit. Right there. Gotta love the parking jobs. There, wider picture. So I'll go lightly into this so I'm not putting pressure on the fence until I'm out about another 6 more feet, and then I can start putting more pressure into it. But Duke is going more gentle into the fence line. Just taking turns, getting different zones. Oh well, if this gets too filled up, we'll have to straight shot it out through their east gate into their parking lot snow dump. But in order to do that, we gotta have room to move. So anyhow, still getting improvements. For the last, most of the month of December, I finally felt myself getting to the point that my feet weren't numb, toes weren't tingling. And that brought a different feeling onto my knee. I am engaging my glutes, hammies, calves more and better for doing uneven ground walking that in a winter requires more, lifting the leg, feeling the ground even through your boots. My boots and shoes have a wide open toe box so that I can do a full spread as opposed to snug. Want to be careful on he's going to wait for me. Want to be careful on building too much until I get all the muscle memory sorted out. In other words, get my CNS and gray matter firing the right muscles in the right sequence so I don't wind up repeating. Yeah, I ain't getting any older, so I don't build muscles like I used to, and I've never really been a bodybuilder type to see how much I can bulk up. I prefer to be functional. So far, that's been working for me. Improvement with the headspace. You know, you've got more synapses in the meat muscle firing properly. A lot of your problems go away. Still have issues with stress, but I'm better able to avoid it now. I'm better able to tell when it's happening. Because for a good chunk of it, I was nose blind to my weight, to my physical ability. I'm still able to think. If you follow any of my posts on social media back then, I was still articulate, using written words, or typed font, whichever you prefer. But I'll tell you, I wasn't all there. Not to the level that I am now. Still have things, especially if they're new, that confound me. Pull myself back. Don't avoid it. Still engage with it. The more I engage with it, the more I tend to understand it. And I came up with the saying, if I can understand something, I strive to master it. It doesn't always work. It works more often than not. And I'll take that. So, getting back, what to do? Many ways to do this. I just picked one that tended to knock it out of the park. Not saying that's going to work for everybody, but unless you go all in on trying, you'll never know. Bite-sized chunks. Got an addictive personality like I do? Well, that's also a strength. You create new habits, they become an addiction in their own. More often than not, new habits that are healthy for you give you a dopamine hit, plus some other biochemicals. Do that from a place of low to no stress. Neuroplasticity. Zen-like calm. Covered the religious aspect before. I get it. I still prefer to look at it as a biological construct of the way we work. And that goes for most religions. I mean, yoga's been around for how many thousands of years? The reason for that. It felt good for people who didn't really understand how the body worked. They did know it felt good. They could see the improvements, feel the improvements. Their brain felt the improvements. Must be a higher power, right? Sure. That floats your boat, go for it. I do believe in God. I just don't trust people's interpretation of it. But that's me. This is the longest one yet. You have a good day.